Oh, it is heavy. I am going to lift this planter up because eventually we'll be building a wooden seat and planters for here. But in the meantime, I wanted to get this Lonicera, Kintzley's ghost, climbing up here. But we want to elevate it to the point where the planter will eventually be. I love this planter, but we'll probably end up using it for something else. You're going to be building that seat, so.
Well, so I think the top of the planter is going to be right here.
Is this too, you want it this way?
On that side, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a little wobbly.
Oh, so we need two of these.
Might want to get.
How many eggs are there?
I can't really tell because.
Oh, she's covered them. Yeah, don't mess with it.
I see one or two. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good height, right? Looks a little janky, but. All right, so I'm gonna get some potting medium and some biotone and we'll plant this up. It's already looking cool. Look, it's literally the same color as this. I think this is gonna look so good. This is a great pollinator plant as well.
So this is gonna climb up all on this thing.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna train it a bit more. You know, I could probably wrap it a bit. I could just probably wrap it around this. The other thing that we need to do is I guess we need to fasten these. I found one of the things, but we'll have to get the rest. Well, let me get the potting medium and we'll start. Okay, so we're gonna be planting this up. And again, the cinder blocks here are not part of the design element. This is just going to be temporary because we're gonna have planters on each side and a seat right here through the middle on each side. So that really gives some folks the opportunity to really enjoy the gazebo, look out at the half lake, and just kind of see all the surroundings. I love this planter pot. I got this at Terrain, and it just, obviously you could tell it just matches the kind of this verdigris hue of this gazebo, kind of this antiquated look, this rust color. And part of the reason why I want to grow this plant up here is because it also has a very similar colorway. It kind of looks a little bit more like eucalyptus leaves when it gets a little older. It's hard to see now, but it gets these little tiny yellow, fairly insignificant flowers. And oh, I saw this plant when it was at a garden tour and it was growing up on someone's trellis and it was just covered in pollinators. So I'd love to see that for this plant here. And I'll probably end up using this planter for something else down the line, but this is going to be the height of the planter that Saunder's going to be building. So I might as well just get it planted up and established here on the gazebo first. So what I'm going to do is use a little bit of my leftover raised bed mix here, and I'll put a little on the bottom. Oh, this is the vermiculite. Hold on a second.
Same color.
Same color. I'll use this raised bed mix, which is good because I have a little more of it if I might need it. All right. And I'm gonna fertilize this since it is the spring and things are growing like crazy now. It's unbelievable how much things are growing. It has biotone, it has some really helpful bacteria as well, and since this is not in the earth either, we're just gonna bring some of that life back to this potting medium. Actually, we used a lot of the raised bed mix in these two raised beds here as well. This is gonna look so good. I think some of the other things that will be growing up on this gazebo, which will act also as a trellis, may be Saunder's White Rambler Rose, and maybe a clematis of some sort. Haven't yet decided on that. Okay, I'm just gonna break up some of these roots. I got this from a local grower. He has a shop called Mike's Plants, and they always come so healthy, never really root bound, just right. So I really enjoy supporting local growers, and I know then the plants are really primed for growing here. I'm gonna get this a little closer. So typically you'd plant this in the middle, but I think I'm actually gonna plant this a little closer here. just favoring this side since that's going to be close to it. And yeah, I might add some more of this mix. I should also say that this gazebo area is not yet finished, but I can't help myself to plant some more plants. This area is going to get refinished and we're going to have a little bit of a walkway around here. This will probably root up more if we're treating it right and we're watering it in. The root ball will probably be a little bigger, depending on when you finish the seat in the planter pot. But yeah, I'm going to just add a little bit more biotone to the top as well, so when we water it in, fertilizer just settles in. So I'm just going to give this a really good water. And you want to water this in because the oxygen will be taken down through the ends of the roots, and that's where they could actually pick up some of the nutrients at the tips of the roots. And we'll have to come out here and water this. Although this actually, part of the reason why I picked this plant is it's one that doesn't need a tremendous amount of water to establish, which is great. I'm just going to wrap it around here. And I might have to come and tie this part if this doesn't want to wrap itself. Although that's pretty good. What happens too is that the flowers kind of appear basically in the, I guess in the axils of the leaves, and the leaves start to look more like a coin shape. To me, it looks very close to like a climbing eucalyptus. And it'll start to get this really chalky blue verdigris hue, part of the reason why I actually picked it up. And then little tiny yellow flowers. So a lot of plants that have that kind of chalky blue foliage have yellow flowers for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But I'll be planting some artemisias and stuff like that, which are also kind of this blue-leaved flower or blue-leaved plant that actually gets these little yellow flowers. So we'll be going with that kind of color theme around here, aside from the garden beds here, which will actually be planting food crops up in here. But anyway, that's a start to this designing this gazebo, and I think it's going to look pretty good. Stay tuned, because now that it's summer, we'll be finishing up the planting of the gazebo. Now, if you enjoy what we produce here at Flock, do us a favor and hit like, subscribe, and the notifications button. And if you can, please do tip the channel. We commit 10% of our Google AdSense revenue back into community projects in the Finger Lakes, and that's matched by our partners over at Espoma Organic. So your support goes a long way, even if you're not in our neck of the woods. See you in the next video here.